Generally speaking, there are several types of external financing that address different needs. So you'll first need to evaluate the nature of your financing need. How much investment do you actually need? For what purpose? How often and for how long? Only once you have this information does it make sense to begin investigating specific investors and financing instruments.
To analyze your financing needs, you'll need to prepare a financial plan. To do this, you basically calculate your organization's expected costs and income. This forecast will show you how the major cost factors and income sources may evolve over the next 3 to 5 years. Of course, such a plan includes many uncertainties. Therefore, investors will expect you to justify the assumptions you made in your calculations. When you create a line chart with the main results of your financial plan, the result is the cost-income profile of your organization. The shape of this profile will give you important information about your funding needs. Cost-income curves are commonly used and can give you an idea of how to create your own financial plan. For simplicity, in the following example, we assume that your costs will remain stable over time. This figure shows an organization that currently earns much less than it spends, something the entrepreneur plans to change. Here's an example that can explain what we mean. John, the founder of Health City, a social enterprise, negotiates with the government and expects to sign an important contract with his organization. If John is successful, the organization will provide healthcare services to the very poor, paid for by the government. In the best-case scenario, John receives a steady, stable income from the government to cover the services his organization provides to the poor for the duration of the government contract. But an important question arises here. How can John fund the gap until the government contract payments start? This is a typical case in which external financing can help. John can secure a loan that pre-finances future income. He might secure this loan from a few different investors, for example, a private investor, a foundation, or even a bank. If your cost-income profile has a rather volatile shape like this one, you face different challenges and needs than John's. Entrepreneurs often have volatile income curves when they run an organization that works on a seasonal basis, as, for example, Susan's organization does. Susan's social enterprise engages in sustainable agriculture. Susan depends on planting and harvesting seasons, which naturally leads to income fluctuations. Therefore, the majority of Susan's income is concentrated into one time of year. In order to remain liquid during these financing gaps, Susan's organization will need a line of credit to help her run her operations smoothly. This means that her bank will allow her to overdraw her account up to a certain amount. Once her income rises, her account balance becomes positive again. Of course, it's easier to get a line of credit if she has some kind of guarantee, for example, the machines or the equipment she uses for harvesting.
No matter what your cost-income profile looks like, whether it's more like John's or Susan's, scaling usually requires significant funding over a long period of time. You might be planning to build up your team, expand your activities into new regions, or even pilot new solutions for your target groups. Rarely you can fund this scaling through your income alone. Therefore, growth capital is one of the most appropriate types of external financing for scaling.